They say Uncle Matt was praying one day. God spoke to him. Brother James Kilgore could tell you story after story of things that happened just like this with his dear father. Many of us have brushed it, and we've had times where we've touched it, but we never have just really got a hold of it as a lifestyle. He was praying. God spoke to him and said, now this is over in Mississippi, way out in the boonies in Mississippi. Now when you're in the boonies in Mississippi, you're in the country. God spoke to him and said, I want you to get on a bus and go to California. Just get on the bus and go to California. Uncle Matt went to the bus station, inquired about the ticket. He said, all right. The bus ticket seemed to me like, I've heard some of the family talking about, seemed like the bus ticket was something like $87 or $89, something like that. Uncle Matt just went over and sat down, and he just sat there, went to just enjoying. He didn't have no $89. He just looked up at the Lord and he said, now Lord, he said, you told me you wanted me to go to California. I'm here. All I need is the money to buy a bus ticket. And I'm on my way. Kind of like the black boy that got stopped for running red light. Called, he put him in jail and gave him one telephone call. He said, who are you going to call? He said, I'm going to call my boss man. And he said, Mr. Boss Man, they put me in jail. What'd you do? I ran a stop sign or a red light. They can't put you in jail for running a red light. He said, I know that, Mr. Boss Man. But he said, I'm speaking to you from the jail. I know what they can't do, but I just wanted to tell you where I was at. Uncle Matt just looked up and he said, Lord, you want me to go to California? I'm at the bus station. And he said, all of a sudden, the old, as the time grew on, the ticket agent called out to him. Said, sir, did you want a ticket to get on that bus? He said, yes, sir, I do. Sure do. He said, you better get up here and get it because the bus is fixing to leave here in about 5 or 10 minutes. He said, thank you. Appreciate that. About that time, he said, there was a man walked through the door of the bus station with a white hat on. Brother Boring. That's his uncle I'm talking about. The man said, I'm here looking for Matt Holland. Uncle Matt raised his hand and said, here I am. He walked over and handed him an envelope. The man turned and walked out. Uncle Matt went to try to tell him thank you. Wasn't nowhere to be found. He opened up the envelope. It was the exact amount of money that he needed to buy the ticket. You're not going to make me doubt anything like that. My God is able to do anything. I said anything. That's not all the story. I'm just about finished. You keep standing. Pardon me, I would have been planning on saying that. In case I want to say something else. He was on that bus. They'd driven like for 20, ever how many hours it takes for a bus to get out there. Probably 30. Anyhow, it was in the 3 days. It was in the midnight, like 1 or 2 in the morning, in the midnight hours. And they had crossed Arizona out in that no man's land, that desert part of the country. And all of a sudden, the Holy Ghost hit Uncle Matt and said, this is where you get off. It was midnight. It was black. It was pitch dark. And out there, very, very little traffic. Uncle Matt didn't ask. He didn't ask nobody a question. He just got his little old hand back, and he got up and he stumbled down the aisle of that bus after pulling the ripcord. The bus driver said, "Man," he said, "we're in the middle of a desert. You got a ticket to Los Angeles." He said, "I know I got a ticket to L.A., but this is where I'm going." "What do you mean?" He stopped the bus and let him out. Uncle Matt got out there in the middle of the night now. "Lord, here I am." It's like poor Brother Henry Ivy. He went off up north during the wintertime to preach a revival. He thought it was going to be spring, and it was still winter. He got up there, pitched their tent, and it come a freeze. And he got to praying, "Lord, this is Henry Ivy." Off up here in Bangor, Maine, trying to have a revival. Like dumb of me to come up here, but here I am. He said it wasn't but just a little while. Here come a fella driving up and pulled up in the midnight hours, pulled over, rolled down his window, and asked the question, "Are you the fella I'm looking for?" Uncle Matt said, "I just well may be. Who you looking for?" He said, "I'm a pastor of a church about 15 or 20 miles north, I believe it was, of this freeway." He said, "I'm so desperate for revival, and I was praying tonight, and God told me to come to this freeway and turn toward Los Angeles and pick up the first fella I saw standing on the side of the road." Uncle Matt said, "Well, I must be the one you're looking for, because I was in Mississippi and God spoke to me to go to California. Somebody needed a revival." They had a revival, if I remember right. It lasted about 5 or 6 weeks. And if I remember right, 56 people received the baptism of the Holy Ghost.